Mitsuki can't go anywhere near the dead zone, never mind the actual mothership.
Okay, so Invasion Season 3, Episode 4 did not hold back. We've got alien vines bursting out of every single portal on Earth, the WBC admitting their so-called miracle weapons are basically useless now, and Trevante and Mitsuki getting thrown into what's basically a suicide mission that goes horribly wrong. Oh, and while all that's happening, Anisha ends up caught in the middle of a wild jailbreak that finally reveals who Infinitas really is. This episode is pure chaos in the best way, and it completely changes where the season's headed. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master, so let's break everything down. The current state of the world, the WDC's desperate plan, Anisha's accidental involvement with Infinitas, and of course, that shocking ending.
Welcome home, kid!
The state of the world. Episode 4 wastes no time in reminding us that humanity never really won. At the end of last week's episode, we saw those gigantic alien vines, these tentacle-like branches erupting from the Atlantic Ocean portal. Now it's confirmed that the same thing is happening at every single former portal site around the globe. That's terrifying for a simple reason. Humanity thought the portals were gone, destroyed, shut down forever. But the truth is, they were never really destroyed. They were dormant, waiting for this exact moment. Clark, Jamila, and the kids sit glued to the emergency broadcasts, which are warning everyone to evacuate areas near the portals. The official line is simple: seek shelter, avoid the dead zones. But Clark reassures his kids that the army will contain the threat before it spreads. But that confidence feels misplaced. Back at the WDC headquarters, we get the darker truth. Jack Hollander, the chief of defense, admits that the so-called neural darts, these specialized bullets made from alien metals that were once the only effective weapon against hunter-killers, don't work anymore. The aliens have evolved again. The vines are basically acting like armor, shielding the HKs. So this instantly reframes what happened in the dead zone 2 years earlier. Humanity assumed the aliens had retreated into the mothership to die or surrender. But no, they were regrouping, mutating, upgrading. And now, after 2 years of silence, they've come back stronger. So the victory humanity celebrated? A complete illusion. And the panic spreading worldwide? Totally justified.
Saw something on the ship, okay? Something in the walls. Something alive.
Travante's visions. While the world spirals, the WDC focuses on 3 people: Trevante, Anisha, and Mitsuki. Each of them has some kind of unique connection to either the aliens or the rebellion, and Hollander wants answers. For Trevante, the big question is, how does he know so much? Back in episode 3, he described visions of the mothership, including a massive tentacled beast hiding beneath its fleshy walls. And conveniently, right after he recalled this, the vines erupted. Coincidence? The WDC doesn't think so. When pressed, he explains that the visions are tied to Casper's strange EEG pattern, the same one that looks like a sound frequency. Every time he saw the pattern or heard the tone, he got painful flashes of his time on the mothership. The problem is that when Hollander tests him by playing the sound again, nothing happens. No visions, no pain, nothing. So does that mean Trevante is lying? Or does it mean the aliens themselves are controlling when and how the visions come? The second option seems far more likely, especially given how precise his memories were. It feels like the hive mind is deliberately feeding him glimpses when it suits them.
I apologize, diving right combat camp!
Mitsuki's painful history. For Mitsuki, returning to WBC headquarters is like walking back into a nightmare. We finally learn more about the experiments she endured after Season 2, and it's brutal. She'd been captured and forced to establish telepathic connections with isolated hunter-killers, cut off from the hive mind, to see if humans could control them. It was agonizing, physically painful, mentally scarring. No wonder she despises Hollander, but he doesn't care. He needs her, because the WDC's new plan requires someone who understands how to communicate with the aliens, and Mitsuki, whether she wants it or not, is still their best option.
I'm leading a mission to cross through the dead zone.
Wait, hold on. The dead zone?
The WDC's desperate plan. So what exactly is the plan? Pretty straightforward and insanely dangerous. Since bombing the mothership from the outside hasn't worked, not even with nukes, the WDC decides to attack from the inside. They want to send a team into the dead zone, infiltrate the mothership, find its core, and plant a bomb made from alien metal. It's basically a suicide mission. And the team leader? Trevante Cole. Why him? Because he's already been inside the mothership back in Season 2, so he knows the layout better than anyone alive. Hollander and General Bryant both insist he's the only man for the job. Travante doesn't hesitate. For him, this isn't just about survival, it's vengeance. Casper's death still drives him, and if sacrificing himself means humanity has a shot, he's all in. Of course, Hollander himself will also be on the mission, though, let's be real, he's the type of guy who'd let someone else take the hit if things go wrong. So the strike team is set. Trevante is the leader, Mitsuki is the communicator, and a squad of soldiers armed with alien tech. The fate of humanity rests on them.
This is insane. We are under attack by aliens. You should be fighting.
Anisha's interrogation. While Trevante and Mitsuki prepare for war, Anisha finds herself in a very different nightmare. Arrested alongside suspected Infinitas members, she's dragged into FBI custody in Boise. Unlike Trevante and Mitsuki, her connection to the aliens is non-existent. Instead, her history with Clark and the movement paints her as a possible rebel. The FBI drills her about Infinitas, insisting she must know the leader's identity. When she denies it, they drop a bombshell. Someone has been researching Infinitas extensively from her IP address. Months of data. That someone was Clark. So while Anisha insists she's innocent, the FBI has reason to keep her locked up. Inside the interrogation room, she meets another detainee, Verna Potter, an older woman who seems frail but strikes up conversation with Anisha. At first she looks like just another unlucky person caught in the dragnet, but as we'll soon learn, Verna is hiding a massive secret. Infinitas revealed. Here's where things get interesting. Anisha is allowed one phone call, and she uses it to contact Clark. That's all he needs to spring into action. With Jamila at his side, he drives straight to the FBI office, desperate to free Anisha. While they're waiting in the lobby, they run into a young man claiming to be Verna's nephew. He's there to drop off medication for her chronic illness. Sounds innocent, right? Wrong, because moments later, Verna takes the medicine, collapses into a seizure, and has to be rushed out by medics. Anisha helps her onto an ambulance, with Clark conveniently sneaking in at the same time. And here's the twist. Verna Potter isn't Verna at all. She's Marilyn Tanner, the real Infinitas, the mastermind behind all the leaks of government secrets. The seizure, the medication, the ambulance crew, it's all a planned jailbreak orchestrated by her network. And the young nephew? He's actually one of her top operatives, known as the Professor. So without meaning to, Anisha, Clark, and Jamila end up inside the getaway vehicle with Infinitas themselves. Totally unplanned, but now they're directly tangled up with the most wanted rebel group on the planet. This raises huge stakes for Anisha's family. Not only do they have to survive the alien invasion, they're also branded as potential terrorists by association. The helicopter attack. Meanwhile, Trevante and Mitsuki set out on their mission. Alongside Hollander and the soldiers, they fly towards the dead zone in helicopters. Here's where the tension spikes. One helicopter, carrying Hollander and Nikhil, flies unscathed. But the second chopper, the one carrying Trevante and Mitsuki, isn't so lucky. From the forest below, massive alien vines suddenly burst upward, whipping through the air with terrifying force. One of them slams into the tail of Travante's helicopter, tearing it apart. The aircraft spirals out of control, plummeting toward the ground. The final shot of the episode is the chopper crashing down, leaving Trevante and Mitsuki's fate hanging in the balance.
Base, we are coming upon some disturbingly fast-forming alien structure.
Was the attack intentional? Here's the real question. Was the vine strike just random timing, or were the aliens targeting them specifically? The fact that Hollander's helicopter escapes without a scratch, while Trevante and Mitsuki gets nailed, feels way too convenient. It suggests intelligence, precision. The vines weren't growing randomly, they were aiming. And if that's true, then the aliens aren't just evolving biologically, they're adapting strategically. They know who the threats are, they know which humans matter, and they're not going to let Trevante or Mitsuki waltz into their hive mind without a fight.
We're the ones who know most about the aliens in their ship.
Do Trevante and Mitsuki die? On the surface, it looks bad. A mid-air crash, deep inside alien-controlled territory with no immediate backup? Normally, that would be a death sentence. But let's be honest, there's no way Invasion kills off two of its central characters like this without resolution. And anything else, the crash will serve as a plot device to push them closer to the aliens' hive mind. We've already seen hints that Trevante has some kind of connection. Mitsuki too, thanks to her experiments. Surviving this crash might mean they're saved or even captured by the aliens themselves. Imagine them being drawn deeper into the hive, unlocking secrets no one else could access. It's not the end for them. It's the beginning of something much bigger.
Anyone that goes into that dead zone dies there. Over the past few hours,
Our nerdy thoughts. Episode 4 of Invasion Season 3 is all about escalation. Humanity's so-called victory has been exposed as a lie. The aliens are back, stronger than ever, and spreading through the old portals. Trevante and Mitsuki are pushed into a suicide mission. Anisha's family stumbles into the middle of a rebel jailbreak, and the world itself teeters on the edge of collapse. The reveal of Infinitas as Marilyn Tanner adds a whole new layer of political intrigue, while the helicopter crash leaves us on one of the most nail-biting cliffhangers of the season. If there's one theme running through the episode, it's this. Humanity keeps underestimating the aliens. They adapt, they learn, and they're always one step ahead. With Trevante and Mitsuki's fates hanging in the balance, Anisha's family on the run, and the Worldwide Defense Corps scrambling for solutions, the next episode promises to dive even deeper into the chaos. And honestly, if this pace keeps up, Season 3 might end up being the most intense chapter of Invasion yet. And that's everything from Invasion Season 3, Episode 4, an intense hour that left us with more questions than answers. What did you think about the reveal of Infinitas and that shocking helicopter crash? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the breakdown of Episode 5.